Babylon, Berachain, Story Protocol, Initia, Movement, Nillion. There's a long list of multi-billion-dollar chains and projects that are launching in the Cosmos ecosystem in early 2025. And they will all be added to this list here on Minscan, which is the Explorer in the Cosmos ecosystem. Same as most of these coins that are on there right now weren't around a year and a half, 2 years ago. And that's how fast crypto moves. That's how fast Cosmos moves and innovates. That's why it's very, very important to always be on top of your game and always be on top of your research to know what is happening and how you need to be positioned, because we are seeing a new generation of Cosmos coins in production today, and there will be a new generation of Cosmos coins 3.0 that is coming out in the first half of 2025. I'm very bullish on that. Overall, price movement has recovered a little bit after this nasty dump we had a few days ago, but still on a very, very low level, which is still, in my opinion, a good entry for a lot of these coins. Atom around 630, TIA below $5, Sane Network 37 cents, dYdX 126, Akash below $3. So still huge opportunities. Also, OG blue chips, V1 Cosmos coins like Osmosis, for example, below 50 cents. Still a big opportunity in my view. Humans made some waves, up 18%. That's an AI play, where we also joined as a validator with C2 a couple of months ago, and are also using their product for AI translation on our Cito Espanol channel. So check that out as well. And in the future, hopefully, we're also launching different languages. Anyways, we also have some big news about Saga, the first airdrop of the year, the 10th airdrop since Mainnet launch. But let's go one by one. First off, CZ reminding us on how to control your emotions and where we're going, where we're heading, because we are inevitably going to head into a crazy bull run sooner or later, whether it's 3 months away, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 50 months. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. And CZ is just saying that, you will eventually remind yourself that you wish you bought Bitcoins early, you bought the dip, you just held, you learn about crypto early, and you ignored the FUD. And when those opportunities come, which is right now the case, the question is, will you act or will you fall into this hole of negativity? This is the end, nothing is working, price is down, nothing's moving, everything is boring, it's dry, it's sideways, and all these promises are just leading nowhere, right? You can fall into that and you can say, well, it's over, I'm out. Or you can just say, this is a huge opportunity. And to be honest, that's how I see crypto even at this point in the cycle, right? That's how I saw it in 2018, especially in 2019. That was a big year where I saw a huge opportunity. Also 2020, at least the first half. Then we had 2022, which was a brutal year, the second half of 2022, and pretty much the entire year of 2023. Only in 2024, we then saw a major recovery in the early months of 2024 with the approval of the Bitcoin ETF. But now there's a question, like, are you getting involved and like embracing the FUD, or are you just staying on your lane and see the bigger vision, the long-term vision? And yes, there is a lot of scam, there is a lot of BS in crypto, and actually the majority of it is BS, right? 95, 98%. And I will be wrong many times. Most of the YouTubers will be wrong most of the times. You will be wrong, I will be wrong, big VCs will be wrong. Most people will be wrong in crypto for 90% of their takes, views, and coin picks and investments, right? That's just how crypto is. It's a minefield of scams, a minefield of empty promises, but it just shows how early we are. And it's just the startup industry in absolute steroids. That's how you have to see it. But if you catch 1 or 2 winners, that's all you need. 1 or 2 winners, it can be life-changing, and hopefully it will be. I also said that in hindsight, it will be obvious. In hindsight, we'll look back at this time, this moment, after 2 brutal years of down-only sentiment making all-time low after all-time low, maximum infighting, maximum fear in the markets. But that's not the time to get washed out. And yes, I've been saying this for a long time, but I will continue to say it until the market turns around, because eventually it will turn around. That's just how it is, right? And if not, then we're all horribly wrong, and crypto is just going to zero magically, and it will all vanish. But that's not going to happen. And especially in the Cosmos ecosystem, which I know a lot of you guys are getting impatient. I read some of the comments, but it's also about patience and controlling your emotions, right? And having a long-term vision and truly understanding the fundamental architecture of an ecosystem, of a cryptocurrency, of a coin, whichever you hold, right? And also have your thesis behind why you're investing in and holding that project. And that should never be like, oh, because this guy said it on YouTube, or I saw this tweet, or whatever. You can make these impulsive emotional investments, sure, go ahead. I might be doing those occasionally as well. But then I also know this is just an impulsive emotional investment, and I would not blame anyone but myself if I fall into those pits, right? But that's just how crypto is. And you really have to have your true fundamental conviction, a long-term vision, and then you will be fine. There's literally nothing that can shake you out, right? We can have another 30-40% crash, and yes, it will hurt in the short term to see those prices, but the way you actually have to see this is as a major opportunity. Anyways, comments like these from JP Morgan, who's been calling crypto and Bitcoin a scam forever, obviously don't help if you don't have that true fundamental conviction, because he just came out and called Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme again, even though JP Morgan at this point is literally making money in crypto and like is building up their business in crypto. He's just fighting either his own bags, or he wants to have more time to position JP Morgan in the crypto industry, because JP Morgan is actually already in crypto. And I would not be surprised if he himself holds Bitcoin to hedge his own views, or just secretly holds it and is just saying the opposite publicly, which I guess would not be, he wouldn't be the first one to say that. Anyways, that's actually a bullish indicator. Another actually bullish indicator is also that Blackrock launched a spot Bitcoin ETF on the CBOE in Canada, which obviously is not going to bring the inflows we saw in the US, but still good to see the institutional rails are being built out. Michael Saylor, unbothered, unburdened by what is being said in the news and the mainstream media, what Jamie Dimon is saying, what they're saying out there when crypto is going down. He just keeps buying. They bought another $243 million at $95,900, which he's already down on, but he just keeps buying. And he will buy at 96, he will buy at 105, 110, 120, 150, 180. He will keep buying. And that's just what he's been doing for the past 4.5 years and continues to do. Anyways, the question is now, what is the next wave going to look like? And in my personal opinion, obviously, I'm probably biased because I've been in Cosmos now for over 4 years. This is my 5th year in Cosmos now, and my 8th year I'm entering in crypto, generally speaking. I entered in early 2017, so I'm entering now my 8th year in Cosmos in crypto. But I'm still fundamentally convinced that Cosmos architecturally is winning, and it's already happening, right? That's why big chains like Babylon, like Berachain, like Story Protocol, Nillion, Initia, and so on and so forth are choosing the Cosmos SDK to build their protocols on, right? What's always been missing, though, is value accrual for base tokens like Atom as well, right? It's been the OG of all Cosmos coins, of course. Even for Akash Network, right? AKT, but there is a new roadmap, and we're going to share that as well in a second, that also focuses on strengthening the base token, which in that case is AKT. In Story Protocol, it's going to be the Story token. In Nillion's case, it's going to be the NIL token, right? In Babylon's case, the Baby token. So all these sovereign chains in Cosmos have their own base token, which makes it hard to say, I want to just hold one coin like I do in Solana. You just hold Sol if you're long on Solana ecosystem. In Cosmos, you can't do that. You have to individually bet on those teams, projects, verticals, and products. And that's why you always have to be on top of the things. But at the same time, that's also why we always get good airdrops, because those tokens have bigger utility from the get-go, because they have security, which means staking, governance, and as transaction fees, as their native use cases, which makes them more kind of intrinsically valuable, if you will. And yeah, apparently, Story Protocol and Nillion Network are the most trending projects, and ETH Denver, which is a major conference in the US taking place in late February, is coming up soon, and I think that's always the first one to kick off the crypto conference season, a big conference with 15, 20,000 people or even more. And we'll see which projects are going to be the most spoken about at the conference. I think Babylon was definitely the most spoken about project last year. Maybe they can pull it off this year as well. They also have a big event there. But I'm sure Story is going to go big on ETH Denver. Nillion maybe as well, because Nillion actually has their mainnet scheduled for February, so we'll see when if that lines up. Anyways, Story is going really hard on building their community globally. This apparently are scenes from their Shenzhen event in China, from Story Protocol. I've lived in China myself for 2 years. I went there first in 2012 when I was just 18, and I moved back in 2018 for an exchange year. And that's also where I kind of built out my initial crypto network and experience in doing events. I did a lot of events in China, and I can really say that China is crazy when it comes to those events. Like, people are showing up in the masses. Obviously, it's the second largest country based on population, so there are a lot of people. But this is good to see that Story Protocol can attract those masses for their events in Shenzhen, right? That's not even Shanghai or Beijing, which like usually Shanghai has the bigger crowds, but it seems like Shenzhen is now also big on the scene. Anyways, looking into price movements, we already saw it briefly. Nothing too much happening. I think, as I said, this is still on very, very low levels. One thing I did notice, however, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, where I was very, very concerned about the bonded ratio on Atom, right? Because I still think Atom is the flagship coin in Cosmos, if it wants to be that or not, but it still is because it has Cosmos in the name, and it's the left curve take on Cosmos. It eventually also might turn out to be the right curve take on Cosmos. Me, myself, I'm a mid-curver actually, so mid-curve probably slightly to the right, but more of a mid-curver, I guess. But the bonded ratio seems to have bottomed out at around 53 point something. Now it snapped back to 54.5, which is still very, very low and still concerning in my opinion, because security is, in my view, not only one of the kind of product value propositions for Atom, but also just shows the strength and conviction that investors have in Atom. And apparently it's not that high, and it went down a lot over the past 6 months. If we look at the chart here, we can see that pretty much since November, we were in a free fall when it comes to the bonded ratio dropping, or the amount of atoms that are staked. And that's also important in the context of inflation, or in terms of the staking APR, right? The inflation, in fact, is capped at 10% right now, so it can't go higher than that. And this is currently the ceiling of the Atom inflation rate. However, the more people unstake, the more the APR will rise. And that's actually good for those that are staked. And you can see it, we actually went to almost 20% here on Christmas Day. So still above 19%. So decent staking APR for Atom. Even though the airdrop meta has been going away, I'm not sure if it will come back, but on the C2 Plus community, we're talking more in depth about that in the future. But here on this channel, I'll also share an update on my airdrop game plan and strategy for 2025 and beyond. But I think just staking Atom these days is just not enough anymore, and probably that's also why people are exiting alongside a lot of big VCs and just Atom holders, right? At the same time, we're seeing a trend now since the end of the year that the amount of unbonded atoms is going down, and looks like the bonded ratio has bottomed out here at below 54%. Hopefully, we have to get back to 60-70%, and that would show a strong sign of conviction and commitment to Atom and the Cosmos Hub. We do have upgrades, a wave of upgrades coming for Atom, Gaia V22, which are mostly version bumps and patches, and the next release is then going to have a written version of the liquid staking module, and will defork the SDK, which is then the foundation for the new plans of the new leadership by Mark and Barry. And people like Germont, who are core contributors to Cosmos. Germont is the IBC lead at the Interchain Foundation. I guess he's also now transitioning into Interchain Labs. He's saying, I've never been more excited about Cosmos, IBC, the Cosmos Hub, and related stack, because now there is a sense of clarity, direction, and focus, which has been missing, including the product side of things. That is, basically making him very, very excited for 2025. We also see games launching on the Cosmos Hub, with Crypto Dungeon teasing the Cosmic Quest, and I'm going to show you a short clip of that trailer right now. On the other side, that also means that previous ideas will be, I guess, discontinued, or at least evolve into something else probably. And for example, Interchain Security version 1, which was basically the initial idea that the vast majority of the Cosmos Hub validator set through on-chain governance would also run and secure other chains. Right now we have two chains, namely the Neutron chain and Stride chain, even though I think they are in the process or already have transitioned to become partial set secure chains. I think Neutron still is an ICS v1 chain, but nonetheless, Mag is saying that in place of ICS, Interchain Security, we'll have a new superior form of Atom alignment, much better for both Hub and Cosmos chains. I think Mag has also been talking about the true interoperability hub, where Atom also is positioned as an interoperability router for other chains, which is an idea that's been floating around for many years, but never really got executed upon. So maybe we will see something like that, or even other ideas when it even comes to liquidity or other forms of value that the Cosmos Hub can offer. Barry also saying that people are sleeping on IBC v2, which was announced at Cosmos Dubai in late October, which is also going to bring Ethereum compatibility, EVM compatibility, and he's calling it the ChatGPT moment for multi-chain apps. So definitely something to be aware of, and also something that I think this is going to sooner or later be pricing in to the Cosmos ecosystem, right? And it's not live yet, but it's in development, it's coming soon. And those are all the things, right? All the upgrades that are being made in a bear market or tail of the bear market, which is where we are right now. This final flush out, even though we are in a bullish environment, Bitcoin at all-time highs, but altcoins are still coming out of the bear market. Anyways, one project that is certainly going to be big in 2025 and beyond, in my view at least, is Akash Network, which launched Mainnet and Cosmos in 2020, an absolute OG, and one of the biggest non-financial use cases in crypto with real strong product market fit. Akash Network, also the biggest position in my liquid portfolio, currently hovering at around $3, but still at the bottom of or top of page 2 on CoinGecko, not even page 1 anymore. But they shared their roadmap for 2025. Greg Osuri shared it here. The TLDR is basically 4 key priorities. Number 1, improve the client experience. Number 2, increase adoption by eliminating barriers and adding capabilities. Number 3, increase AKT demand and strengthen the Akash economy. Number 4, push boundaries of cloud technologies and enhance open source experience to make Akash Network the true super cloud as envisioned a couple of years ago, right? And if you get into the roadmap, you can find that here on their website, akash.network/roadmap 2025. And you go in Q2, you'll also see something interesting, which is basically that they are going to launch a buyback and burn AKT mechanism that is estimated to be launching before the end of Q2, so before June 30th. In detail, they're saying that the current model is reducing AKT demand and potentially compromises Akash's security. To mitigate this, they will introduce a take fee that will be applied for using USDC for compute payments, and the AKT stakers and validators will determine this fee through on-chain governance. This collected fee is then used to purchase AKT and then eventually burn it. So that's good to see. Strong fundamentals built in for Akash Network. That's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Now, we're also seeing Osmosis crossing $100 million in monthly Bitcoin trading volume for the first time ever. And Osmosis is on its way to become the Bitcoin DEX. That's one of their main targets for this year. Hopefully they will achieve it. Obviously, I would not be mad. I'm a big Osmo holder and believer since Genesis, since long before Genesis, actually. Next, we also have the new generation of Cosmos coins already interacting and partnering with the veteran projects in Cosmos. Initia and Stargaze are building Intergaze, which is a purpose-built chain with zero gas fees, optimized for creators and NFTs. It's basically a launchpad for Stargaze, developed by Stargaze on Initia's interwoven stack using Celestia underneath. I also don't know if or how that even accrues value to the Stars token, or probably more to the Initia Init token, but or if there's going to be a new token that will be airdropped to Star stakers and Initia Celestia holders. We'll see. Anyways, that's Intergaze, and they also announced the first cohort, the first 3 NFT collections that are ready to mint on Initia. We have 2C here, Raccoons and Anyo NFTs. And I think especially Raccoons are going to be the flagship collection on Initia. So definitely something to check out as well. And sticking around NFTs and Stargaze, there's going to be a surprise mint this Friday. So in 2 days, there's going to be a surprise mint. And that is going to be the Omies, on-chain Omies. And you can probably already tell this is an NFT collection by the Mantra community, 8,888 NFTs that will be minted on Friday. And it seems like that Sloth, After the Filter, and BadKit NFT holders are all going to be whitelisted if we look at those announcements here and this running theme. And it's also brilliant cross-chain marketing, brilliant co-marketing between projects. I would just love to see more of that, having kind of the same vibe of visuals and artwork and short teasers and trailers. This is exactly what Cosmos needs. It's more co-marketing and collaborations between all these chains. We also see that Stargaze just launched a few days ago an OmStars pool on StarDex, which is their native DEX on Stargaze, which then allows also for the minting and trading of NFT collections on Stargaze in different tokens other than stars. We already see it with Atom, we see it with Sloth and Tia, Mad Scientist and Osmo. Now we're probably also going to see it with the Omies and see that Omies will be minted and tradable in tokens. Now, other bullish news for BadKit NFT holders, they have won a poll on a landslide victory for Handlo, which I think makes them eligible now for an airdrop there or a whitelist slot or something. But it's definitely good to see that BadKits are active and voting out there. Ranked third was actually the Celestine Sloth Society. However, it's also important to note that sloths are only a quarter of BadKits when it comes to the total supply. So there's 10,000 BadKits and 2,500 sloths, but that's just something to put into context here. But yeah, that's good to see. Another thing that's good to see is dYdX's Mega Vault performing during extreme volatility. Recently, we saw massive volatility, Bitcoin going below 90,000. But Megavolt showed its resilience during those market situations and generated $3.6 million in profit with a current APR of 31%, with a TVL of $73.3 million that's deposited on Megavolt. And that means 31% in USDC rewards on your USDC deposited with no lockups. You also can launch right now 5 and a lot more markets or coins that will be traded on dYdX. You can actually do that permissionlessly. All you need to do is supply $10,000 in seed liquidity, and then dYdX's Megavolt will do the rest after a month. Then you're getting your 10K back, and then if there's enough demand and liquidity, Megavolt will do the rest. Anyways, those are the 5 markets of coins that are currently seeing decent trade volumes, especially AIXBT, which is an AI agent launched on Virtuals. And I think the AI agent space is still growing, even though I also see there's already a lot of FUD around it, a lot of scams. And obviously, whenever there's a new vertical exploding and that's in the center of all conversations and on everyone's timeline, it attracts the scams immediately, right? There's literally almost no lagging behind, maybe like 1 or 2 weeks, but that's just how it is, right? Now, there's also a great post by Blockworks Research on dYdX Unlimited, permissionless trading. We talked about it a lot here on the channel on recent months. I also still think that dYdX is a good play for 2025. I hold in my portfolio and I'm looking to buy more at those levels, maybe reshuffle a little bit of my portfolio to increase my dYdX exposure. But that's definitely one that has been around for a long time. We also did a full deep dive into review on dYdX a couple of days ago. So check that out. And yeah, look at the volumes, look at the fees it generates and Megavolt's performance. And then you'll see that the actual on-chain activity is backing that up. Tribbles is a new meme coin that is launching in the Cosmos that is supposed to launch in early Jan. I think it's going to be delayed for 1 or 2 more weeks at least. And it's going to launch on the Agoric blockchain. It will also be airdropped to a wide basket of coins in the Cosmos ecosystem, including also Spice holders, Saga holders, Atom, BLD, and many, many more, as well as NFT collections like Sloths, Bad Kids, Mad Scientists, and so on and so forth. So Tribbles is still coming and on track. And speaking about Saga, Vault 9, the first airdrop of the year, the 10th airdrop since the mainnet launched for Saga, is here, and you can claim it right now. In fact, you only have a few days left to claim, so do that right now. I'll leave a link below this video. And all Cedo Plus members, if you have specific questions on your situation, then Cedo Plus is the place where you can ask those questions and also engage with fellow cosmonauts. Now, finally, I think we're also imminently seeing the launch of Berachain. We're very, very close to launch. I also already saw Kraken that is has announced to support the Berachain launch and the Bera listing. So this is probably going to be a big, big launch that will shake the crypto industry. And I think also, I've said this a lot of times, but the expectations for Berachain are so high that, to be honest, they can only disappoint. They can only underperform. And I'm sure that the threads are already pre-written, the comments, the tweets, the videos, the headlines, they're already pre-written of Berachain's shaky, underwhelming, slow launch or something that will happen. So this is the most hyped project in 2024 and biggest, most highly anticipated launch for this year, which is why expectations are just through the roof and they can only underperform and underserve those expectations, I think. But the dust will then settle after the initial phase of FUD and maybe even a bit of a honeymoon phase when the Bera token launches and reaches 10, 20, 30 billion FTV, which at those levels, to be honest, is quite feasible considering Hyperliquid is trading right now at $25 billion FTV. So yeah, but one thing that people have still not really wrap their head around, I think, is this whole tree token model of Bera, BGT, and Honey, built-in applications, and proof of liquidity, which is their new consensus algorithm, proof of stake without the lockup, basically, and how this all works, what's the flywheel behind it, the role of validators. We're also very proud with Stexito to be part of Berachain, and that's something that we're working on right now in a video, which is coming very, very soon. Berachain also announced the grant or the recipients for their RFC program, which honors 73 projects shaping the ecosystem through education, culture, and positive engagement. And I'm very proud that with CryptoCito, I was actually accepted for that. We did apply when the window was open, and we're one of the 73. So very proud of that. And thanks to the team as well, the Berachain team, for approving that request for proposal, RFP. and RFB. And yeah, that's a full list that you can see publicly available, and CryptoCito is right here. So big achievement, very proud of that, and looking forward to Berachain's launch, to the Berachain ecosystem coming together as well. But like I said, it's probably going to be disappointing and underwhelming for those that are just looking to also get hype, engagement, and clicks for the Berachain launch. Here, we're going to do a proper review of the project, POL, the tree token model, the Bera ecosystem as well, the team, the history. We actually also got feedback from the Berachain team directly to make sure that our script and our information are accurate. Tang from my research team has been working on that script for a couple of weeks, so a lot of work is in that video that's coming up. And the same we're also, by the way, doing for Initia, Alora, Nillion, and more projects, including Movement, that is coming soon, right? So more individual product reviews coming here on CryptoCito, because I think that's also important information to see where Cosmos is headed for 2025. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't get shaken out. Remember what CZ said. Remember also what I said here in this tweet. And don't remember what Jamie Dimon is saying. This guy's literally just trolling us, I guess. Anyways, I'll see you guys very soon on CryptoCito. Until then, stay safe and be good.